Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. So today we are going to be doing a semester recap. Not just any old semester, but a recap of the last didactic term of my certified nurse midwifery and women's health nurse practitioner program. So if you saw in my last video, I told you that I decided to tack on the women's health nurse practitioner as a postmaster certificate. I'm gonna do another video explaining why I decided to do that, but today we're just gonna stick to the agenda because you know how I can ramble and go on and on and on. And anywho, so last term I took advanced midwifery care of the woman and newborn. I think that was the name of it. I'm not for sure, but it's advanced midwifery. And also I took advanced women's health. So these two courses, sorry, I'm filming today. I have my kids in here, so they're kind of playing, so don't mind them. What was I saying? Oh yeah, back on track. So these courses basically are the complication courses. All the other management courses, they focus on the normal parts of women's health and midwifery and things like that, which I totally agree with, because with the normals it's easier to identify abnormals. So let's start with, we'll break it down class by class. So of course I have notes, right? Don't judge me. This brain can't remember everything, okay? Notes. Anywho, so the first class, let's talk about midwifery care of women and newborn. I can't remember like everything, or I can't go into everything, but just to glaze over some of the topics we talked about were induction of labors, VBACs, which is vaginal birth after cesarean. We also talked about previous and gestational diabetes, gestational hypertension, preeclampsia, miscarriages. We also talked about newborns as well. So all nurse midwives are trained to care for newborns in the first 28 days of life. So you have to be educated on the transition and at least the first month of life for these newborns, because you can totally identify a lot of problems. We may not treat them, but you have to know how to initially manage it, and also who to either refer or consult about these things. 9 times out of 10 you're going to refer to a neonatologist or a pediatrician, depending on how young the baby is. So I absolutely love that course. It made me nervous because, like I said, you're getting into like the meat and potatoes and what to do in complications. My greatest fear is to either misdiagnose the patient or not be able to identify something going wrong in my patient. So these were like critical courses. You really had to know your stuff. Not that the other classes weren't important. You really have to know those things, but this is the scary stuff. Okay, so the next course was the women's health course. So this course focused on mostly like GYN type of things. So we talked about how to do pap smears, breast exams. We talked about perimenopause and menopause and how to manage that. Dysmenorrhea, amenorrhea, any types of the abnormal bleeding. So we learned how to identify those things. We talked about identifying STDs, how to treat them, how to discern between the difference, of them. We talked about contraception. When I tell you contraception, I think I hated that portion of the class the most, because when you think contraception, you think right off the top of your head, you go to condoms, you go to birth control pills, you think IUDs because they're popular right now. But there's so much to contraception alone. Like, some people can't get this kind of birth control. It depends on your medical history and what I can prescribe to you. It is so complicated. I never would have put that much thought into contraception. I thought maybe, and this is just the lay me before school, that you just go and they give you a pack of birth control and that's just it. But it's just so much to preventing conception. So what are some of the assignments that we had during the semester? We took a whole bunch of quizzes and exams. In one class, we had an exam every 2 weeks, and it was like clockwork. The only other assignment that we had in that course was a group presentation. So it was like 3 to 4 people in the group, and you had to discuss this topic, make a PowerPoint presentation about it, and record your presentation. That's pretty much it. Yeah, that class was serious. It really was, but it was fun. So in the other course, we had to take an exam, I want to say every 2 weeks as well. There was 2 times that we had to take a test back to back. We also did case studies in that course, and we did a simulated office visit. So basically you were online, doing, I think we used Google Hangout, and you were online with an actor who was pretending to be a patient. You had to identify what was wrong with the patient, come up with a plan, same way you would do if you were the actual provider in the office. No, you didn't have any prep or anything. So this was like on the fly, so you really had to know your stuff. Granted, it wasn't just thrown out of the park. It had to be one of the topics that you had already learned about that semester. So that was pretty cool too. And then afterwards you had to do a soap note, which is the way that nurses write up what happened in a visit. So what's next? Clinicals are after this. There are some things that I have to do before this. I do have to go to my school to learn some of the skills to be able to do the things that I need to do in clinicals. So, you know, things like I said, doing pap smears and delivering the babies, which is the most exciting part. The delivering of the babies, I get to do it myself. So basically, as a labor and delivery nurse, we are there providing support to the patient. 9 times out of 10, we're in the room pushing with the patients until the patient's crown, and then the docs or the midwives come in and they take over and perform the delivery. But this will now be my job. I mean, granted, not by myself. I will be with a preceptor. I know you remember my woes about my preceptor. I talked about him on Snapchat like all the time. So if you're not following me on Snapchat, follow me. I do updates all the time and gripe about a whole bunch of stuff. But I'm going to try to snap as much as possible during my clinicals. I'm going to vlog as well, so you won't be left out if you don't have Snapchat. But follow me on there. I also have Instagram. Quick plug, right? But anywho, yeah. So I'll be doing all of that by myself. We'll be doing the newborn exams. So it's, yeah. I'm nervous. I'm so nervous, but I'm so excited to be doing this. So I just want to say, you know, thank you so much for following me through this journey. We still have a ways to go, but at least that portion is over, right? So I've got a lot of questions from a lot of you who are interested in going to midwifery school or women's health nurse practitioner school. Even some questions coming from people that want to go to family nurse practitioner school. Some of the stuff, the breakdown of those courses, I may not know, you know, because that's not my concentration, but I'll be able to help with like the basic things. So if you have any other questions, you can list them down below or hit me up on Snapchat. I do answer as much as I can. I'm going to do a video about my program in general. A lot of people message me and ask me what school I go to. I'm not going to divulge that information because I don't want these videos to be associated with my school, and I share a lot, but I don't share a lot of personal stuff like that. So I do apologize because I know that a lot of you want to know which school I go to because you may be having a difficult time trying to pin down a school. But instead of like totally brushing everything off, I do give you a top 5 that that I was interested in, and in that 5 is the school that I attend, but I won't give that out yet. I'm not for sure if I'm gonna give it out after I graduate either, but you never know. We'll see. I may have a different mind state, or you know, you never know. Anywho, thanks for listening. Thanks for joining me. Until my next shift. Bye.